Hey everyone, I'm Adam,
And I'm Asaki.
and we're at Keyworks. This is the first video in a multi-part series covering our journey of creating 3 games in 3 months. Each week, we're going to release a new video covering a specific aspect of the game we're working on, and we're excited to share this with you and can't wait to explore this journey all together.
Our first game is called Cosmo Leap. We wanted to make a game where you needed to use gravity while avoiding obstacles and managing your resources. Since we only have 30 days to create this game from scratch and release it on the App Store, we needed to move quickly. So one of the first things we needed settled with the game was the direction of the artwork. Started out with doing some basic sketches to see where we wanted to go. Once we ended up with a style that we all liked, the next step that we saw was to start developing the character. We kind of wanted to go with a full cutesy kind of character rather than doing something realistic. We started out in Blender, which was little bit of a learning curve for me, especially since everything prior to this was in Blender was just making a few cubes and spheres and putting them together. But here with Spaceman, we needed to do the whole rigging system in order to make him move around and behave in the ways that we wanted to. Thankfully, there are a whole bunch of Blender tutorials out there. We were able to find something that worked out pretty well for us. Definitely had a few issues here or there, getting the rigging right and getting the model to behave the way we wanted it to. Certainly some unexpected result, but in the end, I think, we ended up with something pretty good and looking forward to building upon it some more.
Absolutely. And once we got Spaceman in the game, the challenge started to, okay, well, how's he going to move?
Right.
How are we going to control him, and what's the most intuitive way to control him with the gameplay that we wanted? Because you're going to be using gravity, and you're going to kind of be looking top down almost on the game and the character, and what controls would work really well, not just on a mobile device, but hopefully in the future with the controller. So we really bounced back and forth on a bunch of different controls. We certainly knew that in general we wanted a joystick on the left and some sort of thruster button on the right. On a mobile device, and we knew that you're always going forward because the object of the game is to go from platform to platform as you move through space, going upwards on the screen, and you're always going forward, but you could still go left or right, and you might orbit an object to use the gravity to slingshot yourself forward if you've run out of thruster fuel, for example. We went back and forth on a bunch of different concepts of controls. And we wound up settling on a control scheme that lets you go really in any direction you want to go. And when you do, it fires the thruster at that point. We felt that was better than a separate thruster button on the right while you're moving and just the joystick rotating you. It just got really confusing. You kind of lost track of where you were. You were thinking about, okay, I need to rotate to the right and then push the thruster button. And that just seemed really frustrating to use, and basically it sucked. So we focused more on just when you change direction, that also fires the thruster in that direction.
With this project particularly, I think one of the challenges was just being able to iterate really, really quickly and being able to bounce these ideas back and forth, because we don't have a lot of time in order to complete our challenge.
We didn't have time to really flesh out all the various different ideas and concepts. We really just needed to make a decision. Basically, this is like a game jam for ourselves.
And with the game jam, what I'm realizing is that pressure, that time constraint really makes you focus in on what you need to do and starts to close the door on areas of scope creep.
We could have spent weeks and months just on the controls itself, playing out all sorts of different options. But I actually think that because of this constraint, it's actually helped us make a decision, and a good decision, probably the best decision on the control scheme for this game, that we would may or may not have arrived at if we had given ourselves months to do. So keeping a tight window on this has actually helped the design of this game, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let us know what you think about this control scheme in the comments below. So next week, we're going to work on the environment. We're really excited for it, and we can't wait to show it to you. So thanks again for joining us in this first video. We hope to see you next week. Please be gentle to that subscribe button, but please hit it. Click like if you like the video. And that's all for this week.
Bye.
See you next week.